Everybody, welcome back to another video, and this is my review of the top 5 prop firms in 2023. Now, as we know, the market is evolving really rapidly. Things are moving at a real fast pace. We've got a lot of new prop firms coming on board, and sadly, a few are actually falling by the wayside. Now, I've done this now for several years, and we have seen some of the ones that have been in my top 5, and actually a lot of people said were the best prop firms out there at the time, have actually failed. So looking at funding talent and the prop trading. Now, it's a real shame when these companies do actually cease trading for whatever reason, and a lot of traders do get affected by it. So that's why I always say, do your own research first. Make sure you're comfortable with the actual choices that you make. Don't be swayed by my decisions on my top 5. There could be many more out there that actually suit better for you. So again, just because I've named a particular prop firm number 1, you might prefer someone further down the rankings or even not on this list. So if you're enjoying the content and really like the reviews I'm doing, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a big thumbs up, as well as comment down below. I always do my best to respond to as many comments as I can. So before we get going into my top 5, I want to give sort of an honourable mention to some of the firms that didn't quite make on my criteria. We're looking at Blue Guardian Capital, Funded Next, and Finitive Funding. Now, I think they'll make some big gains this year, really push forward into that sort of top echelon of prop firms, but at the moment didn't quite make it into my top 5. So that's where I'll get going with number 5 on my list is Funded Trading Plus. Now, what I like about this firm, although they've been going for a short period of time, they've really established themselves, got a real big presence going and starting to make some challenges as top firms, primarily around the criteria they're using. Now you have a single stage pass as well as the standard 2-phase challenge. Now, the big advantage with this firm is actually have no time limits on passing the phases. So let's say you are a very aggressive trader and you like to pass challenges in 1 day, then that's fantastic. But if you're like me, a little bit slower, have other things going on in life and can't always dedicate 24 hours a day to trading, trying to find every scalp out there, then you might be looking at longer swing trades and maybe not always getting the 1, 2, 3, 5% returns you're looking for, as well as passing a challenge in the 30 days. So I think this is actually a great prop firm for those who actually really want to build slow momentum, get funded, and then get into those payout stages. And number 4 on my list is E8 Funding. They've been around for well over a year now. They've got some great back-end technology, and that for me is what really started to make them stand out from the other firms out there. They had a lot of automation, they had a great dashboard, they had a real understanding of what the traders wanted to see, and actually some real quick turnaround times. One of the downsides is they are not the cheapest out there. Again, it's a bit of a shame if you are looking to take on one of the challenges, but as always, we know that if you do pass and get funded, the refunds are always available for you there. And also, looking at this particular prop firm, they've also introduced their 3-stage pass track, so therefore gives you a little bit longer to actually pass some of the challenges. So again, they're looking to evolve, understand what the traders need, and actually learn from what the responses back from people are, and change their models to actually expand their user base. What is good with this prop firm as well, they have a lot of stats out on the website, a lot of payout proof, and again, their social media is pretty good. So number 3 on my list is the Funded Trader Program. Now, when they launched over a year ago, a lot of people didn't understand the concept. They thought it was very different, very gimmicky. They've also gone with a slightly different stance, having sort of a knights and sort of a kingdom challenge theme around it. So it really does make them stand out from the rest of the crowd. Now, they also are one of the most reputable prop firms out there, been established, give really, really good evidence of payouts. They have a fantastic social media presence. A lot of their YouTube work and their interviews is very regular and very consistent, unlike a lot of prop firms who sort of very much a hit and miss approach to keeping everyone informed of what they're doing. What they also have is a monthly community update where they also listen to what the traders are asking and actually go through and give all the updates of what they're doing with the firm, how things are moving forward, and what improvements they can do, which I think is fantastic. They're also one of the few prop firms who have a $400,000 challenge, which again is the highest in the industry right now. And again, they're looking pretty strong to keep establishing themselves and making improvements and building over the next sort of year. Number 2 on the list is FTMO. That might come as a bit of surprise to some people, as I often talk about as the number 1, and they've been number 1 on my list for the previous 2 years. But as we're seeing, they haven't really made any changes or any big updates to their major system in the past sort of 6 to 12 months, which is a real shame. They're obviously leading the way in payouts. The biggest payouts in the industry right now have been through FTMO. For me, they have the best support process. They also have a lot of tools and support information for traders to actually get started and become successful. So really the downsides are they are probably the most expensive prop firm out there, as well as them having some of the hardest rules to actually pass the challenges compared to some of the other prop firms who have a 7.5 or 8% in the phase one. FTMO is still sticking at the 10%. So if they want to achieve that number one spot, a few changes need to be made over the next sort of few months to really make them establish themselves as that number one again. So finally, my number one prop firm is my Forex Funds. That's probably not much of a surprise. They really are pushing the boundaries in the industry right now. They have, for me, some of the best criteria for passing, some of the best market conditions for actually as traders, as well as some of the best payouts, and really establish themselves as the number one prop firm out there. They've been going for over 2 years now. They've got a huge history of paying out their traders. I've been funded with them before and had no problem at all getting any payouts whatsoever. So behind the scenes, there have been massive improvements with my Forex Funds. They have the automated accounts. So when you actually go through and pass each of the phases, it's all automated, it comes through straight away. If you don't manage to pass but get the automated retakes, again, fully automated process, you're informed of the new account, you get it the next day. They have a huge reputation of paying out their traders on time, and I can speak from experience of having paid out several times with them before. They pay on time and accurately. Now, one of the downsides still is their dashboard is not fantastic. Now, as traders, we should be responsible for recording our own trades and not relying on a chart or a graph to tell us where we are failing or coming close to drawdown. It'd be nice if they make some improvements behind the scenes to the dashboard. That would really sort of make them stand out. But again, for me, that's a minor point when you consider that the criteria for passing, the cost of the challenges, and the actual payouts are all fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed my quick review of my top 5 prop firms out there right now. And as I said before, if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.